Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a really wonderful 4th of July. Not really expecting a lot of you to hop on. So if you're catching the replay, hola, senorita. I'm really excited about this. I gotta watch one moving, like a hobo, sorry. Perks of hanging out outside, I guess, and looking like a hobo. Nicole was so funny. She was just telling me she wants to hop on live, but she's got to go look presentable first. So I'm like, nah, not me, never. You just get me how I rolled out of bed this morning. So sorry. I guess that's the perk from working from home is that you can do that. You can just roll out of bed and work and hop on live. So anyway, I wanted to talk about some things that I'm doing that feel way more authentic because Nicole and I have been talking a lot about that, right? And she's been posting a lot of videos about being authentic and just kind of being true to who she is and encouraging you guys to be true to who you are. And so I'm sure you guys have seen me post on occasion something from church, here we are post church, or I'm on my way to church or something like that. I mean, faith was a really big part of me the last couple of years, right? So my husband and I, we weren't always members of a church. Actually, when I met my husband, he was super against any kind of organized religion and things like that. He was super against it. He didn't believe in it. He thought it was really dumb. It's the army mentality, I guess, or at least the infantry mentality. And so, when he kind of said that, I kind of stepped off. I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it, and I just kind of let the way I was feeling kind of go until we got married, and then he decided he wanted to join the church that we were in. Just that we have children, we have this whole kind of I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. I mean, because our church is global, right? So I could go, if they made planes that got me from my church here in Pennsylvania and I could be in China in the same, so church for us is 3 hours. So if I could be on a plane in Pennsylvania and be in China within that 3 hour window, they'd be teaching the same exact thing. So it's the same everywhere we go, which is really cool because then I don't ever feel like I'm missing out when we travel and things like that, because I can kind of just get the same spiritual nourishment wherever I go. And it's really cool, to see this community aspect. The other day, my husband drove someone from our church up to New York City because she is going to China for 3 months. She's from China. Her husband works in China now, so they're going to China to visit and everything, and then kind of figure out their life before they make a move to China. So anyway, so Alex drove them up there, and it was so cool. I mean, our friend just we have a Facebook group for our local area, and they just posted in the group hey, I need somebody to drive, my wife 3 hours to New York City and then 3 hours back, and within 15 minutes it was solved. A bunch of people had volunteered, but because my husband was the first one and we lived the closest to them, it just made sense for him to do that. But I thought it was really cool how within 15 minutes 7 or 8 people were yeah, of course, yeah, we'll drive 3 hours to New York and 3 hours back for you on 12 hours notice, no big deal. And I thought it was so cool. I think I think it's so cool. And we do all these really cool things. In 2 weeks, I'll be gone for an entire week. You won't see me for an entire week. I will be at girls' camp, and it's really cool. It's our 12 to 18-year-olds. The 18-year-olds still come, and things like that. And so all of our girls have just graduated, and so we're just a week in the woods, all together. It's really nice. It's no boys, no husbands, no responsibilities. It's really nice to just kind of be able to just be out there with all these girls. And it's really cool to hear where everybody is and where they're going. And last year was my first time going to girls camp. And when I went to girls camp, my testimony was pretty strong. I'd only been a member for the church for about a year. My husband and I, we were getting ready to be married in the temple. We were the first ones in Philadelphia to get married in the brand new temple that was built there. So it was really cool. It was really exciting time for me. And so I was in a totally different place than I am going to girls camp this year. And so we've had like a lot of trials the last like couple months. You know, we have Alex's cousin living with us, and that has presented its own. Look, I'm like looking to see it, like I show here. It's presented its own set of trials, and it's tested us in a way that I didn't know Alex and I could be tested. And you know, it's really funny because a lot of people have asked us if him and I argue more. And we don't. If anything, this whole experience has like brought us way closer, and like I can probably tell you my husband and I haven't had like a real argument in probably like 8 months maybe. Whenever Thanksgiving was, like that was the last time we like actually had an argument. Yeah, so about 8 months ago that we had like a real argument, which is really nice. It's like really beautiful, I think. And I think a lot of that has to do with us being married in the temple for eternity and all these things. But anyway, so Lexi was playing rugby, and you know we really wanted to encourage her to play sport, and they only had games on Sundays, and so I didn't go to church for months. You know, we like popped in occasionally when she had like a bye week or something, but we just couldn't go because we wanted to be there to support her through rugby, and I really felt like my testimony like slipping and things like that, and I didn't feel like I used to. I didn't feel, I guess, connected and things like that. And I was like looking at my scriptures, and like they sat in the same spot for like months, you know, like I wasn't even doing that anymore and things like that. And it was it just felt like it did a couple years ago, you know, like, and I just didn't feel like I was in the right place, you know, like I just didn't feel good about like where I was. And you know, so Alex and I, we went to church on Sunday and things like that, and Alex was like talking to our bishop, and he was like talking about all these things that are going on in our life, and I mean, he just started crying, and I really, I do let, we were, and then like afterward, we were like talking about it. I mean, I wasn't there, you know, but I was like talking to him after church, and he was just telling me about how, like good it feels, you know, and like how safe church feels, and how he feels like it's really cool to see guys get up. Like once a month, we do like a fast and testimony meeting, and you know, everybody, and not that everybody does it, because I mean, we only have like 40 minutes for people to do this, and our church has like 300 members in our congregation that meet at the time that we do. But it's really cool to see like guys get up there and like share their testimonies and like let their emotions like out, and like people cry all the time, you know. Even when you're just like having a conversation with people, like you just get emotional and like you just kind of like let it out. And it's really cool that it's like this safe space for him to like do that. And so I was saying to him, I was like, you know, I've noticed since we've been members and things that you've been like way more like emotional, but like a good kind of emotional, you know, like he doesn't bottle things up anymore. He doesn't get like as angry anymore. Like he just like lets it all out. And he was saying, you know, how he just feels like church has set like a really good example for him, and it has let him kind of be a different man maybe than the way that his family like gave him an example, you know. It was like night and day between like his family and the men in our church. And not that his family isn't good people, but you know, just really different in the way that they handle emotions and, you know, stress and all these things. And so he was like, I just feel like more at peace. Like I feel way more serene in things. And I was like thinking about that. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about that like a lot, and how I was kind of like missing the serenity maybe that he was feeling. Because there's a couple times like where he's gone without me and things like that, because like I took Lexi to rugby and he stayed home and went to church because he just felt like that's where he needed to be. And it just like, oh, my phone's like having a heart attack. Also, if you're on, feel free to say hi, because it's like not showing up for me. So if you've also commented on this, I know, yep, sorry. But anyway, so I didn't have the same kind of like serenity feeling that he had. you know, like I was kind of missing that a little bit. And so last couple of mornings, I've just been like coming outside with my scriptures. They're like, boop, right here. This monster that it is. And it's been so, I feel like yesterday I found myself out here from like 9 in the morning until like 1 in the afternoon. Like just so like immersed in what I was doing. And I said to Nicole and to Morgan probably 2 months ago, maybe, when I wasn't feeling the way that I was feeling. And I was saying that I really wanted to incorporate my faith into my business. And I wanted to have one of my modules in my 6-month and my 3-month be faith-based and talking about limiting beliefs through the scriptures and talking about running a business, right? They're all like in here and things like that. And so I just, and then I just didn't go forward with it because one, I didn't feel like I was spiritually in a place where I could talk to other people about their spirituality and things like that. And then I also was like just really afraid to share that kind of aspect with myself and like commit to it. But Nicole's just been talking so much about being authentic and being true to yourself, and we've had a lot of conversations about this. And I mean, it's just really who I am, and yeah. So I am encouraging you to really be who you are. If you're a person who really loves The Office and that is like one of your quirks, then like share that. You know what I mean? I also, if you watch The Office, I don't know what it is, but I cannot get into that show. I've made the attempt like 6 times and I just can't do it. So, I'm really sorry to all of you Office lovers because I know it's like a cardinal sin or something that I don't love it. But anyway, so I just kind of wanted to encourage you guys to like be true to who you are because I am starting to be true to who I am. And so you guys are going to see a lot more scripture-y posts, and you're gonna see more of that side of me, which I'm like excited to share. You know, it's not something I usually share, but I'm excited to share it with you. And if you have any questions and things like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to chat with you about all of this because it's been really refreshing. I feel very rejuvenated and things like that. And so that's what I'm doing now. So I'm being true to me, and so I'm going to encourage you guys to be true to you. And I would love to know what your truth looks like. What does being true to you really look like? And I would love to hear from you about what that looks like. So I'm going to let you guys go enjoy your 4th of July. We will be doing the same soon. My husband is napping. And so, which I should probably do too. But we will be out watching some fireworks and all those kind of fun things. So, yeah. So I would just love to know what your truth looks like. And if you feel comfortable sharing that, please feel free to do so. And I hope you guys have a beautiful